Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin Liber Primus, Review 1, reviewing chapters 1 through 4. This is the final exercise of Review 1. That means syntax. We are parsing English sentences and turning them into Latin. A brief review of how to parse English. So start at the left with the first word and read each word moving towards the right. When parsing an English noun, you are to give the noun's reason, which is mostly derived from the placement in the sentence, because English gets most of its syntax from word order. The noun's number, either singular or plural. The noun will be plural if it ends in an S, an ES, or an IES, most of the time. The case, that's the Latin case. We'll get the Latin case based upon the noun's reason. So if we know that the noun is a subject, then that will transfer into the nominative case in Latin. And then once we give the equivalent Latin dictionary entry, it just becomes a declining game until we get the case and number, and then that's the answer. When parsing a verb, an English verb, we give the person, the number, and the tense of that verb in a sentence, and then it becomes a conjugating game to get that person, number, and tense in Latin once we give the Latin dictionary entry, and that'll be the principal parts. Okie dokie, here we go. Number 1. Ye are carrying the gifts from the province into the forest. That's what y'all are doing. All right, so ye are carrying. The verb is carrying. The verb is carrying. Whoever is doing the carrying is the subject, and whatever the subject is carrying is the direct object. So ye are the subject because ye are doing the verb. Second person plural, that's ye, y'all. Present is the only tense that you know. So we want the second person plural. The endings for a verb are ost, mus, tis und. So we want the tis ending for second person plural on porto, portare, portavi, portatus, to carry. So you take the stem porta, add the tis, and the answer is portatis, portatis. What are they carrying? What are the objects? What receives the action of the verb? The gifts. The gifts. So that's going to be the direct object receiving the action of the verb carrying. Gifts is plural because it has an S. It's not just gift, it's gifts. And that's going to translate the direct object into the accusative case in Latin. So we want the accusative plural of donum e neuter gift. So second declension, you can tell by this genitive singular ending, neuter, e o, orum is is. So accusative plural, dona, dona. From the province, we're going from the province. So from, that's the preposition ab, plus the ablative showing separation. So this noun province should be in the ablative showing separation. There's only one province. We have provincia I feminine, so we want ab, probably because provincia starts with a consonant. Plus the ablative singular provincia, macron over the A. Into the forest, we're going into the forest. So if we're going into the forest like we are here, that's going to be motion. We're moving into them. It's going to be in the accusative case. So forest will be in the accusative. If we're just in them, if we're already in the forest and we're just kind of hanging out there, that's going to be in plus the ablative of location. Ablative of location. Here we want the accusative of motion because we're moving into the forest. Forest is silva I feminine. Accusative plural, that's going to be silvas. Silvas. So altogether, something like dona a provincia in silvas portatis. Dona, the accusative direct object, a plus the ablative separation from the province, in plus the accusative plural motion towards, into the forest, portatis, y'all are carrying. So just like with algebra, when you solve the equation, you get x. You can plug x back into the equation to see if it works out properly, and it does. So y'all carry gifts from the province into the forest. Optime, excellent. This is pod racing. All right, number 2. The woman and the girls are walking out of the farmhouses. The woman and the girls are walking out of the farmhouses. We have the woman and the girls are walking. So walking is our verb. They are walking. Who are they? The subjects, woman, conjunction and, girls, other subject. So woman, femina I feminine, that's going to be the nominative singular subject, and is et, conjunction et. The girls, puellae feminine, girls, we want the nominative plural, puellae. They are walking, they, third person plural, unt ending on ambulo, ambulare, ambulavi, ambulatus. So we have ambulant, femina et puellae ambulant. Out of the farmhouses, out of the farmhouses. So we're going out of them, we're moving away from them. So we have ex, letter E, ex, out of the ablative plural, villae feminine, farmhouses, villis, villis. So something like villis femina et puellae ambulant, or feminae et puellae, or sorry, femina et puellae ambulant villis, or femina et puellae villis ambulant. Remember, not so much the word order matters, but do you have the words spelled correctly? Do you have the right endings on them? Because Latin gets syntax from endings. 3, we are in the kingdom. That's where we are right now. We are in the kingdom. We are farmers. So we are. First person plural, present tense, we are. This is our subject, this is our linking verb, this is a predicate showing location. So we are, that's going to be our irregular friend sum esse fui futurus, which conjugates irregularly sum es est, sumus estis sunt. So we are is sumus, first person plural, we are sumus. In plus the accusative will show motion, but in, this is a location. We're not going into the kingdom. This would not be accusative. We are already in it. This is going to be location. In plus the ablative shows location of regnum e neuter. Neuter noun, second declension neuter. E o, a orum is a is. So sumus in regno. In regno sumus. Sumus in regno. In regno sumus. Sentence 4. That's a doozy. The boy and the girl are carrying water from the fields to the roads with their friends. All right, a little bit of everything here. So the verb is are carrying. They are carrying water. So they are the subject. That would be boy, conjunction and girl. Boy is puer, pueri, masculine. It's singular, so we want the nominative singular of puer, and that is, wait for it, hold on, don't tell me, puer. And that's going to be et, which is a conjunction. Girl, puellae feminine is girl. We want the nominative singular. Wow, yes. Okay, puella, so puer et puella. They are doing this verb. They, third person plural, are doing this verb. So ost mustis unt. They are doing the verb of porto, portare, portavi, portatus. So we want portant. Portant. Puer et puella portant. What are they carrying? The direct object, the water. It's going to be aqua I feminine, water. Direct object is in the accusative case. We want the accusative singular of aqua, which is aquam. From the fields, we're coming from the fields. From, preposition ab, plus the ablative to show separation, movement away from the fields. Fields, that's ager, agri, masculine. That's a second declension. I can tell by the I pronounced E in the genitive singular. Ager, agri. Stem is agr. Declines like ager, agri, agro, agrum, agro, agri, agrorum, agris, agros, agris. We are ab, put that B on ab, because ager starts with an A, a vowel. So ab, agris. Ablative of separation. Ab, agris. We're now going to the roads. To is ad, ad, plus the accusative showing motion, and roads is plural. So we want the accusative plural of viae feminine, and that's going to be ad vias. Ad vias. With their friends. With their friends. With, it's going to be cum, preposition taking the ablative to show accompaniment. Accompaniment. Friends is amicus e masculine. It's a second declension masculine. Amicus, amici, amico, amicum, amico, amici, amicorum, amicis, amicos, amicis, cum amicis. And then ignore words in parentheses. Cum amicis. All right, all together we have something like puer et puella, cum amicis, aquam, ab agris, ad vias, portant. Puer et puella, cum amicis, aquam, ab agris, ad vias, portant. Okay, all that information is contained there in the answer. All right, optime. Number 5. I am not working in the field, but in the farmhouse. Obviously. So I am not working. Don't get confused and say I am. Oh, that's got to be sum. That's got to be a linking verb. All right, well, if it's a linking verb, then you should be able to cross out the am and put in an equal sign. Do I equal not working? Yes, here I am, the not working. That doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, this is not a linking verb. This is a helping verb. Am is a helping verb here. It's helping the verb working with the adverb not nestled between them. So the verb I am not working, or the verb phrase I am not working, or I am working is the verb phrase, where not is the adverb. First person singular, present tense of laboro, lavorare, lavoravi, lavoratus, and let's have that known in front of the verb. So non laboro, non laboro. In plus the accusative will show motion, but in plus the ablative will show location, and this is definitely location. Working in the field, not working into accusative the field. We are ablative location in it. In the field. In agro. In agro. In agro non laboro. Non laboro in agro. Conjunction but, 1T. Sed, S-E-D, sed, in plus the ablative, like field, in plus the ablative of villa, I, feminine. But said in villa, with a macron over the final A. Non laboro in agro, sed in villa. Of course, obviously. 6. You see your friends on the road, and we're not going to translate the your in the parentheses. You see your friends on the road. You do. You see, here's your verb. It should be you look at. You look at your friends on the road. So you is going to be second person singular. See, let's say look at. That's specto, spectare, spectavi, spectatus. You look at. So second person singular, S ending on specto, spectas. So spectas. Spectas, you see. Friends, this is the direct object. If the verb is look at, you are looking at, that's the subject. Direct object, receiving the action of the verb, friends. So we want the accusative, direct object plural of amicus e masculine, so amicos. On the road, or in the road. So preposition on or in plus this is the ablative showing location. Accusative motion would be onto or into. That would be in plus the accusative. This is in plus the ablative showing where the friends are. Located where? On the road. So we have in via. Amicos in via spectas. Amicos in via spectas. Spectas amicos in via. In via amicos spectas. Okay, 7. She is sailing from Spain to Asia. Sounds like a nice trip. She is sailing from Spain to Asia. She is sailing. Here's our verb sailing. Who's doing the sailing? She is. Excellent. Sailing is an intransitive verb, so we don't have a direct object. Sailing from one location to another. So we have third person singular. She is sailing. So T ending, OST, mustis und, of navigo, navigare, navigavi, navigatus. So we have navigat, T. From, movement away from. This is the preposition ab plus the ablative of separation of Hispania, I, feminine, Spain. So ab Hispania. It's put that B on ob because the H in classical Latin is almost silent. Hispania, it's very slight. And then we're going to Asia, motion towards. To, that's going to be the preposition ad, ad, plus the accusative motion towards of Asia, I feminine, so that's Asiam. So ab Hispania, ad Asiam, navigat. Ab Hispania, ad Asiam, navigat. 8. A goddess is looking at the kingdoms. A goddess is looking at the kingdoms. So a goddess, that's going to be our subject of our verb is looking. So nominative case, nominative singular of dea, I feminine. Wonder what that could be. So dea is looking. Who is looking? She is looking. Third person singular, so we want the T ending, OST, mustisund, of specta, spectare, spectavi, spectatus, so spectat. Dea spectat, and she's looking at the kingdoms. Kingdoms is the direct object receiving the action of the verb looking at. Remember, at is part of this verb, looking at. So kingdoms, accusative direct object. So this is going to be plural accusative of regnum e neuter. So dea spectat regna, or more like a Roman would say it, dea regna spectat. Or dea spectat regna, or something like that, some permutation of the three words. 9. The boys carry the gifts to the farmhouses with the men. The boys carry the gifts to the farmhouses with the men. So the boys, here we have the subject, our verb is carry. Who's carrying? They carry. They are the boys. Boys, subject, nominative, plural of puer, pueri, masculine, so we want pueri. Carry, they carry. Third person plural, unt, of porta, portare, portavi, portatus, so we want portant. Pueri portant, the boys carry, they are carrying the gifts. So we have donum e neuter, plural, and this is the direct object, the accusative case, receiving the action of the verb carry. So we want dona, pueri portant dona. Where are we going? To the farmhouses, going to the farmhouses. Ad, ad, plus the accusative, to the farmhouses. Farmhouse is villa I feminine, it's plural. We want the accusative plural with ad villas, ad villas. And we're doing all this, the boys are carrying the gifts with some men, with the men. So with is going to be the preposition cum that takes the ablative of accompaniment. So we want the ablative of vir, viri, masculine. We want to be plural. So vir, viri, viro, virum, viro, viri, virorum, viris, viros, viris, cum viris. All right, all together, it could be something like pueri, cum viris, dona, ad villas, portant. Pueri, cum viris, dona, ad villas, portant. And finally 10, you are giving gifts. Let's end easy. You are giving gifts. You are giving. So you are giving is our verb. Who's doing the giving? You are. So second person singular. We want an S ending on do, dare, dedi, datos. The stem is da, so we want das. Das and then gifts. Gifts is the direct object, receiving the action of the verb giving. We're acting upon the gifts. So direct object, that's the accusative plural of donum e neuter. E o, a orm is, a is. So dona, das. Dona, das. Or das, dona. Das, dona. Optime. Very well done. This completes Review 1, reviewing chapters 1 through 4. Optime, you are now ready to move on to the next lesson. Valete omnes.